Welcome to the Fray Flak Pack. It's Termex here, and welcome back to another Borderlands 3 build video. And in today's build video, I'm going to be showcasing my Anarchy stack flak build. Some of you may just know this as Anarchy flak, and others of you might know this as Deathbot flak. But this is my new Anarchy stack build because the Anarchy has kind of been slept on recently, and I think it needs a lot more love than people are, well, giving it currently. Now, I do know the hotfix came out quite recently about all the new gun buffs, and trust me, I do have a lot of builds planned for those items, so stick around for those. Let's just say that the smog and flak go together very well. But today's video is about the Anarchy specifically, so let's go over the build for this. We're going to start off into the Stalker skill tree. Since we are not using URAD, the capstone of the power inside will be nice for that 50% bonus damage when we use our action skill. Some key things to look at here. We do have Lick the Wounds for some survivability, Furious Attack to stack up our damage, Turntail and Run for more damage while standing still, Hidden Machine for more damage while not getting targeted, and the Fast and the Furious so we get gun damage and movement speed while we are above half health, which is nice. And we do have a little bit of health regeneration. We all know health regeneration isn't the best on flak, but having some of it does help. Now over into the Hunter skill tree, we did get Megavore for that 20% crit chance. Of course, Interplanetary Stalker for the bonus damage per stack. Hunter's Eye because it benefits basically everything. Head count to get our Fadeaway back quicker. The most dangerous game, so when we kill a badass, we get gun damage and crit damage. Big game, so our hunter skill duration and effects are boosted. Now finally, into the master skill tree, we went far enough to get 5 points into Frenzy, and 1 point into He Bites, so when our pet does get shot at, it just gives us a free stack of Frenzy. As for the Fadeaway setup itself, we do have Not My Circus for tankiness, and just so we get some de-aggro during the takedowns. And Unblinking Eyes, so we get bonus critical hit damage per shot if we shoot the same enemy, basically melting any bosses in the game. Now as for the Guardian rank, I do not have any Guardian rank buff, perks, or stats. I do not play Borderlands 3 in that way. Just me personally, I do not like playing the game that way, and that's just how it's always been. None of the builds on my channel you'll see will have any of this kind of stuff featured. And I do want to mention we did go with the Great Horn Skag so we can get some damage and gun damage. Now over into the inventory. The inventory is very, very simple, and I wanted to keep it simple because I know a lot of console players don't have PC save files that they can just download and get this whole set, which you can do. If you're on PC, just click the link in the description below or in my Discord, and you'll see everything in this video. You'll be able to download all of it. But we do have Anarchies, a Plague Bearer for takedowns, and a Res for utility. Now the Anarchies do have on action skill and splash damage, and here is why. The Anarchies count as a splash damage weapon, even though they don't seem like it. So the splash damage annoy is going to help us out tremendously. Since we're using 3-shot Fadeaway, we're going to have this bonus damage basically all the time. And I did only have this in Fire and Corrosive. It's kind of hard to come across good Anarchies nowadays, so I'm sorry about that. But we do have gear that makes up for our lack of element diversity. And of course, we do have a Plague Bearer with on-action skill N with Splash, just for our mob clearing, just for the bridge on the Maliwan takedown, all that kind of stuff. It also works great in the Guardian takedown. And, of course, the Res. This should be a must-have on flak in case your pet goes down and he needs to get revived. Because there are situations where if you're down and so is your pet and there's no enemies in the area to kill, you could shoot this at your pet, it'll revive, and then come revive you, which can save a lot of runs. Trust me, it's saved me a bunch of runs. First in, let's go with the Revolter. Now the Revolter is very nice, very overpowered. Now when our shield depletes for 15 seconds, we do 200% more shock damage and we get a bunch more fire rate. I got this with on action skill start, so every time we pop into Fadeaway, we get that 200% shock damage alongside the extra fire rate. We also have Hunter Seekers in different ASEs, so you don't stack your ASE elements. This is just to activate our Hunter kill skills, which will be available for us to do with the God Butcher Bounty Bunner. Bounty Bunner? Did I really just say Bounty Bunner? Now the Bounty Hunter just allows us to get our hunt kill skills every time we shoot an enemy instead of actually getting the kill itself, which helps out tremendously with our damage. Now as for the rolls, I do have shotgun damage for the Anarchies, weapon damage for basically everything, and splash damage for the Anarchies, and of course the Plague Bearer. Basically probably the best rolls you can get when using the Anarchy. I actually used this class mod quite a while ago in a very old build. I got this to drop from Grave Ward, and I think this was when I was recording for my old Phasmophobia Flak video if I'm not mistaken. And finally we have the Pearl of Knowledge. Now you can get the Pearl of Knowledge with any rolls, doesn't really matter, but I prefer magazine size and reload speed. Magazine size and fire rate would be very good as well, but me personally, I think the reload on the Anarchy is slightly slow. Now for the people that are not up to speed when it comes to the Anarchy no longer loses stacks on a premature reload. So before you used to do this and you'd lose all your stacks, but you can actually do TD or chuck damage with max stacks. Every time you kill an enemy or an automatic reload, you get 30% damage, but it reduces your accuracy. Kind of. And this stacks up to 10 times. So we could get 300% damage on our Anarchy, on top of the 200% on action skill splash damage, on top of the extra 200% from the Revolter, on top of your 50% from your Hunter Seeker, on top of your 90% from your Pearl. You get the point here. We're stacking a bunch of damage to make the Anarchy freaking amazing. But let me give you guys some pro tips when it comes to using this weapon, because not everyone uses this gun correctly. A lot of people are going to find that you just randomly lose stacks and you have no reason or no idea behind why you did. But there is a few answers to this. Part of it is it's a bug and just Gearbox hasn't fixed it. But a lot of things for some reason trigger the stacks to just empty for no apparent reason. One of the things I discovered is if you have to reload the gun and you throw a grenade while in the reload animation, or if you go into Fadeaway while in the reload animation, and I'm not even using... Oh, I had a controller plugged in while I was playing Warframe. Sorry about that. But anyway, if you have a certain point where, like, if you're reloading and the reload animation triggers and you throw a grenade, it could reset it. So maybe I can get it here. I'm in the reload animation, I throw a grenade, and yes, you see that? You see how I lost all my Anarchy stacks? You don't do that. Don't reload and throw a grenade at the same time. You will lose your stacks more often than not. It doesn't happen every time, but I'm glad I could actually catch it on camera for you guys so you actually believe me when I tell you that it does happen, and Gearbox should probably fix that. I love you. But maybe that's just how it is because you're kind of canceling the reload and the game doesn't know how to register it. But just don't do that when using this build. It will aggravate you because you have to rely on this stack damage. If you're deep in the Maliwan takedown and you lose this stack damage, you're going to be a very upset person because that is your source of damage, getting all these stacks. And another thing, when you go down, you will not lose your stacks. You will not lose them all like before. If you went down before, you lost every single stack. But I'm happy it's not like that anymore because it got very annoying going down, especially with the splash damage radius. If you look at the reload, let me show you guys real quick. Look at the radius on this. That's a pretty big blast radius without any blast radius rolls. I imagine if you have a AoE splash damage roll on like a relic or a class mod, you would probably down yourself like every 5 seconds. Now in a very older version of this build that I made with the Anarchy, I used a stack bot, but overall it matches the theme of the build, of course, Anarchy stack flak. But Stackbot really doesn't benefit much from a gun like the Anarchy anymore. The Bounty Hunter just offers way more consistent damage. Now, I do want to point out that Hemovorus with this build isn't a... I'm not going to say it's an amazing or quick kill, but it will get the job done if it's your only option to do. If you guys really want a raid boss specific flak build, I did make a Hemo Hunter flak build. I keep getting the question with every single build, I can't kill Hemo with this build. I can't kill Hemo with this build. I understand that. Hemo takes certain preparation and certain gear, and that is why I do have a raid boss flak build specifically for him. So if you guys want to check that out, click in the top right about now. I just want to let everybody that watches this video know that. And I also been getting comments saying that certain builds aren't as strong as other builds. And you know, I shouldn't even have to explain why this is a thing. Not every build is going to be strong in terms of, I guess you could say, its strengths and weaknesses. I like to make a more diverse set of builds on my channel, and I know not everybody likes that, but it's what I like to do. I like different builds for your casual player, different builds for a tryhard player, or different builds just for people that want to explore different playstyles other than the same old type of builds. You know, we might actually get a sub 5 here. I might be wrong, but maybe we can get the sub 5. Did we get it? Yes, we got the sub 5. So yeah, I guess I don't really have to try hard. This did get a sub 5 on our little... God, what are these called? Trials. Jesus. We did get a sub 5, so you can easily do it with this kind of build. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe if you're new and you want to join the Flak Pack, and hit that bell so you never miss out on another video from me, and join my Flak Pack Discord so you guys can stay connected with me personally and talk to me about a bunch of different things. Once again, if you're on PC save file is in the description below. If that doesn't work, I have a link in my Discord, which always works. But you guys have a terrific day, and I'll see you guys later.